Good morning, YouTube. So this is our second video. The main suggestion I had yesterday was, where are the orchids? Here they are, and we're gonna walk through my growing area so you can see how it's done in here. Growing areas are usually a work in progress areas. There's always something happening, just like here. And I'm not looking for excuses, but that's the way it is. So this is my hanging area. We like to look outside of the box. So if you can see, we use a regular wine rack as a hanging, I don't even know what to say, hanging instrument, whatever. But my husband attached it to the pergola, and it works really well for me. I can hang so many things. The only thing, of course, I need to watch, we are in Florida and everything has life here because of the weather and sun and rain. So I hope it will not gonna start falling apart too fast. But at this point, it's fine. Okay, I need to put my coffee away so I have two hands. So you can see some ideas of my pottery. The plaques, this is a little Cattleya mix that I got in July, and she's doing really well. You probably saw her if you visited my booth at the shows. She's one of the models. This is a little bulbophyllums area. They love being wet, so that's what they get. We go around and see lots of mounts. Last year when I was at the Tamiami show, I met wonderful people from Nature's Relic, and I was joking with them that their wonderful mounts have different purposes. Like this one I use a lot for my coffee mug holding purposes, and it works just perfect. It's beautiful and it makes my coffee mug happy. So the little bulbophyllum growing area is my favorite fascinator that started this whole bulbophyllum section. It has the most amazing flowers that move. Lots of mounts. Wood, I use camphor wood, I use cedar wood, all kinds of different woods. Ooh, look at this guy. This is the thing with orchids. You forget about them and then you get surprised. I got it last year at Redland, and it was a itty bitty plant, and look at it now. One thing I expect from it is to bloom. It's not doing it now. It's a bicolor bulbophyllum also. In my early pottery, that right now I question myself, what was I thinking about a lot. So again, what do we use here? It's a tomato cage that we just closed on the top, and it's great for displaying a smaller plants, like also bulbophyllums or mini orchids here that I recently also purchased. This baby bloomed, and you probably saw her flowers. Her flowers are as small as it can be. It's like millimeters, and it was from RF Orchids and Homestead, where we had our last show. Okay, this lady is about to bloom. At some point we'll see the blooms also on the mount. And this is Francis Fox Sunspot. Been on that mount probably for a year or two. So, and let's go in. See, I use lots of wood that I find here and there. These are little dendrobium babies that I just attached to the, I believe it's oak. Maybe it's not a good idea because oak doesn't have such a long life, but we'll see what happens. Same here. Two air plants are doing pretty well on it, and here we go. One of the projects that we do is these mounting trees. So I just attach a certain nothing with names on, but regular little mini phalaenopsis to the piece of wood, and we put it in a big garden pot. We didn't concrete it yet. We just put some rocks, so you gotta wait. Think about the weight. If you put concrete, these pots are really hard to move. And the same thing right here, work in progress with the brassavolas. So, ooh, and look who decided to bloom today. My grumpy old man, I call him. If you've been at my stand at the show, he is always everybody's favorite. Alexis, your baby is blooming. So here he is in bloom. I tell everyone he only blooms for one day. Lucky you. And as usual, he's a surprise. You never know when he will decide to do so. So we'll sit him here in the chair so he can have a nice morning. Okay. So and there's lots of, this little oncidium here is beautiful as usual. And sometimes there are flowers, like right here, look, I didn't even know there will be a beautiful, looks like brassavola. It has no tag on, maybe a lime. And I do see flowers over there. We can go and check. Yep, they're coming. This one is from Jim Roberts from Suncoast, from Sarasota show of last year, and they starting to just a beautiful awakening. Since we're on this side, here's a little Vanda that blooms and blooms for you. And so we go back inside. So I have two growing areas. This was the original pergola that when we built, we thought that will be totally fine, will be enough, but then guess what? It wasn't. So we added that greenhouse over there, and guess what? Still not enough. So right now this is a phalaenopsis area. My phalaenopsis was not really happy in the other greenhouse, so what you see here is kind of rehabilitation center for them. And they're novelties. They're just a regular beautiful white phalaenopsis. They're geckos, of course, as well. This one is one of my favorites. Look how cool that is. How many freckles? There we go. Phalaenopsis is a wonderful plant. It has a crazy variety. It will give you colors, it will give you shapes, size, whatever works for you, they got it. So hanging area, again, another tomato cage that is great for Vandas, the smaller Vandas. This one is blooming here. Oh, and she smells so nice. And it's a huge plant, and it's from Leesburg. Help me. What is the name? Don't remember the name. You can. Goodwin Orchids. How could I forget? Wonderful, wonderful nursery. The variety, the quality of the plants is just amazing. The name of this plant is right here for you. I will not try to repeat that. No way. There is one thing that I have problem in orchid growing is repeating the names. With the time you do learn how to say it, but I'm sorry, it's not really easy. So here we go. This is the greenhouse with like mix match plants, and I am remodeling constantly. And oopsie, there you go. Somebody visited and somebody didn't like this little poor dendrobium. Probably one of my lovely iguanas. We're gonna fix it later. Of course, they had to get the princess out. Nobody likes princesses lately. So some little dendrobiums here, blooming or about to bloom, like right here for you. And dendrobiums are beautiful. They last long, but they're big, and you always have to think about the size. because they're bulky, they fall over, so sometimes they really drive me crazy. Okay, like this guy, look at this guy. He's standing on the floor. He grew into the ground, not moving him. When it blooms, it's so gorgeous. And yeah, someone is having lunch at my garden. Look at this. It was eaten. Oh boy, somebody is walking out there without knowing their life is almost over. You do not eat my flowers. Okay, and there are different cattleyas, and here's my favorite queen. Is really wet right now, so the color, and there's no sun. This is that Heaven's Gate lady that I'm obsessed with, and we gonna see what is this. This is the beautiful orchid that was given to me by a Waldorf lady at the last show. Hi Beth, thank you very much. The name is, again, all I can say is Volcano Queen. Okay.